Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Ajuna Sharawat, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulae for many. And this is what we try to make these sessions a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Saikat Ray. Currently handling the feed vertical of ETG CureChem Pvt Ltd as the general manager. Saikat is responsible for setting up feed additive vertical in 6 countries and is into training the existing sales force with selling tools and also expanding the company's operations in other countries. In his 33 years of experience, Saikat has achieved numerous milestones, one of which is the successful establishment of Phytase in India, followed by driving its business by 10 crore rupees, which is 25% of its total turnover. Wow. Saikat's other milestone is a 170% increase in sales of Alltech India in just 2 years. Spearheading business operations of various companies with great market permeation is his area of excellence. Welcome, Saikat, to FaceTime with Leaders.
Thank you, Ajuna. You're very kind.
It's an honor that you are here with us today. Could you please sum up your career-long learnings in 3 points for our viewers?
Well, as you know, all my life, I have been into sales and marketing, mostly in marketing, then direct sales. And there are 3 learnings, exactly 3. It's a coincidence that you have asked for 3. One of them is never sell a product, sell a solution. You need to tell a customer how this particular solution is going to add value to his or her business. It's just not a product, because products will be copied, but concepts cannot be copied immediately. Okay, that's first thing. So offer a solution, just not a product. See how it demonstrate, explain how it adds value to the business. Second, please put yourself in the customer's shoes. As salespeople, we often get frustrated that the customer is not paying attention. But please understand, customer is not there to buy your product. Customer has his own business where your product is just a component, just an input. So you need to understand where he is coming from, what are his concerns, what are his pain points. If you don't understand that, it is unlikely that you will be able to build a bridge with that customer. And unless you build a rapport with the customer, chances of converting a prospect, chances of converting him from a prospect to a customer is very, very difficult. And third, Ganesha model. Follow the Ganesha model. What is the Ganesha model? Big head, small eyes, intently pay attention. Small mouth, talk less. Big ears, listen more. And a trunk, inquisitive, seek information. These are what has stood me in good stead in all these years. And I would say today, in the Indian poultry industry, more or less, people know me. It's not a what you call big claim, but I appreciate the love and the attention and the affection that they have received, given me over the years. I just put a photograph of mine on Facebook with this dress. In no time, 65 likes. No time, in 5 minutes. So that's how it is. And one of the basic things is communicate, communicate, communicate. This is outside the 3, but communication is the key to success. Call a prospect just to say happy birthday if you remember it. And don't ask for business all the time. Don't ask for business all the time. Give information not related to your business, but his business. Then that person will be, you will be his go-to person. He will call you. Arjuna, do you have any idea what's happening here? That's where you have built a trust level. That's what makes your entry relatively easier. That's it.
Beautiful. These are really, yes, if these are applied, then it's going to be a sure shot success journey, which has been in your case. So thanks for sharing these points with us. Now we would like to know which of your job roles have you enjoyed the most? Well,
Alltech. See, when I joined Alltech in 2002, because I was working with Novozymes, I was in charge of Phytase business that I successfully built. But Novozymes had an issue. They had just one product for animal nutrition, that the Phytase enzyme. And because they realized that just for one product, the customers are not giving attention, not giving appointments. So they handed over that business to Roche Vitamins, now known as DSM. Because DSM was the market leader at that time for vitamin premixes, everybody had to talk to DSM for products. So they thought that if the Phytase is also given alongside, it will be an easier entry. But DSM had a policy, they would not recruit anybody without a nutrition background. So then that is the time I moved to Alltech. Alltech is an American company based in Kentucky. They had just opened shop in India, and they were operating through one pan-India distributor, which was VH Group. In about 6 months of time, I found quite a few issues in that model. A is VH, Venkateshwara Hatcheries Group, they have got their own feed operations, but they don't use Alltech products. Now, my question to my boss that time was, hi, Chris, if you don't wear this brand of shirt, how can you sell that same brand of shirt to anybody else? What is your answer if I ask you, but you don't wear it? Number one. Number two, because they were exclusive distributors, they used to take payment discipline was missing. They used to take us for granted. And, Alltech has a policy. They initially give you some stock to start the operations. In any country they start. And after some time, you need to self-sustain yourself. You need to generate your own revenues to run your expenses and do some remittance to the corporate kitty, And we were having a very, very tough time with Alltech, with VH in this particular manner. We had travel desk people, travel agents sitting outside the office for payments. This is 2002, 2003, yeah. And then, and all that. And then they used to complain about our colleagues going out and market. And occasionally we used to have a beer and they used to have a major issue with that. Anyhow, so then I made a formulation, restructuring proposition to my boss and said, boss, we do the following things. First of all, there are about 10, 15 people in the industry who do not use the same breed of chicken that Venkateshwara Hatchery sells. That is a POM. They will never buy from them. So let's take them out. Let's make them our key customers who we will go and sell directly. Okay. That's one. Second is instead of having a one big regional national distributor, let's hedge the risk by having 4 or 5 regional distributors, so that at any point of time somebody is buying. You know, we did this, and Arjuna, our turnover in 2002 was $300,000. In 2003, we did these changes in August. We ended up at $1 million, 300,000 to 1 million. Next year, 2 million. So I enjoyed going through that route. I was also intimidated by the VH people because they did not like what's happening. They did not, because Alltech was seen as a different company with a concept level of products. They did not like what's happening. They actually threatened me and one of my colleagues. You know, Deklinga types. But we said, we are doing our job, boss. We can't help it. So that was the most enjoyable part of my engagement. And I still think that's, I mean, even 10 years later, I'll still put that as my most commendable, exposure, I should say. And the amount of freedom was given to do that exercise. Boss said, go ahead and do it. Saikat, nobody's in your way. Do it. But you are responsible. I said, I take it. That's it.
Now we're coming to ESG. So have at any point of your career journey, you felt a need for better ESG integration? Can you share some instances?
Well, ESG, we are talking in a very, very exciting time right now. Why? Because there are plenty of challenges. The Paris Weather Meeting 2015, right? Or 16. That has put a lot of pressure on everybody, and people realize that if we don't manage things sensibly, we are going to head for a major issue coming up. So people are aware. People are showing concern. People are pulling cars, for example. Earlier, people used to go by themselves. But right now, I'm seeing a feeling of community going together. And I would call you and say, well, what time are you going? Can we pull it together? Today we go in my car, tomorrow we go in yours. So, you know, these are very, very healthy signs. And right now, I can tell you about 2 of the work that I'm doing related to ESG. It is more on sustainability and environment protection. You know, in poultry feed, where I primarily work, the protein source comes from vegetable protein, de-oiled cakes. Now, what is happening with de-oiled cakes? The primary component is soybean de-oiled cakes. After you take the oil out, what is left is what we call in Hindi khalli. Okay. Now, that typically has 46% protein. And that is used in about 15 to 25% of the total feed formulation. Okay, fine. So far. Because of the climate change constantly happening, a couple of things are happening. One of them is the crop failures have become a routine now. Earlier, they used to be once in a while, but now every year, you have one crop failing at some place or the other. Now, crop failure means less availability. Less availability means high price because there is a gap in supply demand. If you have more demand than supply, the price will go up. For example, I can give you figures. Last year, soybean 46% used to cost 50 rupees. Last year, for a brief while, it went to 110 rupees. People did not know what to do, where to go. India government, for a change, we normally use non-GM, genetically not, our soybean is not genetically modified. But for a change, India government allowed 150,000 tons of GMO soybean meal to be imported just for this purpose, to tide over the crisis. So this means we are in time to look for a sustainable protein source, number one. Second, because of this use of synthetic fertilizers, NPK, standard urea and all, it's actually boosting the productivity some way, but it's also degrading the soil's innate fertility. So today, if you need 100 acres of land farming to get X amount of output, you are not getting X amount of output from 100 acres anymore. You need 130 acres. And it's going to get worse as time progresses because soil is getting depleted of the micronutrients, minerals, everything, right? Right now, we are working at the project called Black Soldier Fly. It's an insect. It can be grown on demand. It grows vertically. It does not need a lot of land space. And it can yield up between 45 to 65% of protein. And I am telling you with confidence that this will be the next big thing in nutrition. I am not foreseeing, right now the price difference is 5 times, which is deterrent. But now this is a niche product. The moment it becomes mainstream, the whole dynamics changes. Then the prices will become lower and much more affordable. And I am seeing, this is my perception, and I think this will be, used to partially replace the soybean meal. You will not get out of soybean altogether, but from 25%, maybe you will cut down 5% and put this protein. And then you see the results for a few cycles, then you may increase it to another 2-3%, like that. So this is the time is for sustainability. The time is for sensibly conserving what we have and use only as much as required. If you remember earlier times, it's related to you and me, I mean people. We have these parties where the buffet dinner, people used to put everything in waste. They just take it because it's free. I mean, you have just paid for it or you have given the gift already, so nobody can stop you. So people used to take a lot and then leave half of it on the plate. In the last few years, last few months, I would say, I am seeing people are taking only the amount they are consuming so that wastage is reduced. Now, this is a very healthy sign. That means people are realizing the value of conservation and the value of being minimalistic. That's it. So ESG is the need of the hour. I'm telling you, this is 2023. By 2025, 26, I think people will live and breathe ESG in some form or the other. They may not use this term. They may use sustainability. They may use conservation. They may use eco-friendly, whatever. This morning, I was having a chat with Goodrick. Goodrick tea company? I had ordered some online iced tea. It came. So one guy called me and he said, "Sir, what's your feedback?" I said, "First of all, the products are excellent. But second product is, I'm not happy." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because you are using heavy glass bottles." That is making three issues. One, you need to pack it with plastic bubble wraps, all the more. It's using plastic. It's adding to the ecological burden. Your packs are making bigger, huge packs. So you are spending more money on shipping, right? And see, it's pushing the cost up. I would love to have the same thing 10 rupees cheaper, and it's possible. I am suggesting you tell your management to use some biodegradable, sustainable packing material instead of heavy glass bottles. I'm not saying plastic, no. But there are many, many things coming out in the market every day. If we look out, we will find something. So he says, "I will give this feedback because I can't take a decision." I said, no, I know what you are doing. What is your role? That's fine. But you tell them that this is where they need to go. Plastic to glass is a good step, but it is adding to the weight.
Yeah, and more plastic in packaging.
Exactly. More plastic in packaging. And the huge See, when the carton came in my house, I was like, what? 12 bottles is taking so much of space. And then I found each bottle, let's say the bottle as such will be like this, but it's coming here with all the wrapping. So that it doesn't break in transit. So
yeah, we have to keep in mind if we are trying to save something, how are we harming the other thing? It's not just, yes, it was not adding at all.
Yeah.
The effort was not going anywhere. It was generating more plastic.
Yes, exactly.
That was very thoughtful of you to have shared it with them.
No, because see, if you don't believe it yourself and if you don't practice all the time, you cannot talk to anybody. I mean, in a slightly big word, you don't have moral right to advocate something that you are not doing yourself.
Yes.
A different example, in the Western people, they don't use a bidet. They don't use water for excretion. They use tissue paper. Now in the Qatar World Cup, people are fascinated. They're saying, why don't we do this? Because it doesn't leave a residue. It doesn't have to cut. We don't have to cut trees to make tissue papers, right? It's a huge issue. And water can always be harnessed and recycled by treatment. Very soon, you will see some work in that direction as well. It may not be a very palatable discussion to have, but it's a reality. And the amount of tissue paper produced in the world each day, if we can cut it down by 50%, which is possible, I think a lot of trees will be saved. A lot of trees means a lot of more oxygen, a lot of more soil strength, a lot of more birds, a lot of more animals.
Yeah, from sustainability to technology.
See, more often than not, a simpler solution is always in front of you, but you don't see it. We don't see it.
Yeah.
We just go with the routine. But just look around. You will see a sustainable solution. All you have to do is embrace it. It may not be economically very attractive to start with, because it's different. But if more and more people start to embrace it, it will become a mainstream. Mainstream is always more pocket-friendly, more economically attractive. That's it.
Second, we would also like to know from you if you could share your thoughts with our viewers today on the way technology has changed the meat industry. Any upcoming advances to alter the course of the industry?
Yes, biotechnology has given some good products. I have tried some, vegetable sausages. Very interesting. And you won't find, unless you know, it may be difficult for you to understand it is not out of meat. That is, it's so good because biotechnology and nanotechnology, these two things are making great progress. Veganism has become a fashion. And a lot of people are getting vegan. That's fine. I am not, but I don't question other people's judgment. I said, it's okay. It's your choice. It's your life. So you can choose what you eat. However, whenever you do something which will have a larger impact on the society as such, it is important to keep all the angles in mind. It's always look at the big picture, just not your own small kitchen, but you look at what's going to happen elsewhere in the world.
Saikat,
yes.
Since you are now an ESG certified corporate governance expert, what kind of perspectives do you offer to the corporate world?
Eat and breathe ESG. Believe in it. Unless, as I said earlier, unless you believe in it, you cannot convince anybody. You do not have the moral right or responsibility to preach to its outside world. If we look at the world around us, we will see the frequency of cyclones, storms have increased manifold times. It started with the tsunami. But after that, every 3 months, somewhere in the world, there is a tsunami, a tornado, a fearsome cyclone. A lot of fire is happening just by themselves. means the nature is giving a clear message. Don't mess with me. When I retribute, it will be severe. That's what the nature is telling us. We need to understand that. We need to act in that direction. And the other thing is that the technology front is changing so fast. We need to constantly upgrade ourselves. We need to be aware of what's happening. As I speak, I'm going through this 8-step guide to the SASB standard disclosure process. I'm just updating myself. I'm just enriching my knowledge so that I can talk with more confidence and more conviction when I speak to somebody about ESG and sustainability needs. So I need to be on top of the latest developments. I need to enrich myself. It's like the medical profession. The doctors need to study every day because things are changing, right? And the other thing about ESG is that, we need to, how should I say this? We have to accept that things will not change overnight, but we need to take baby steps. Like a baby walks on all four, then toddles, then walks, then runs. So ESG, right now, we started late. I agree. We started late. We could have started 10 years ago, but right now, better late than never, right? So that is how it is. So right now, we need to embrace the importance of ESG. We need to understand it. And I believe it should come in the school curriculum also. The importance of the environmental, societal, and governance may be too early for schools, but E and S are essential in school studies because people, you might have seen people who study in hostels, they have a very disciplined lifestyle. They will wake up in the morning and then go for a morning walk or run. We are in day school. We don't have that habit. Human beings are by nature lazy. They don't want to work. They want to take it easy. But they have been drilled to that nature. So right now they can't live without. Likewise, if you instill this knowledge and this feeling in them early on, they will grow up with it and they will make sure they don't do anything in contravention to what is required. So that is important.
Absolutely, a very good insight. As you are aware, we are building a community of FaceTime with leaders. It is aimed at cross-pollination of knowledge, something that will lead to a robust corporate governance in India and build a community of non-executive directors for its robust framework. We'd like to have your views on this.
Well, I congratulate DI on taking this momentous step. It's a very, very well thought of activity, and it's going to add a lot of value in the days to come. Why? We don't know all. Nobody knows all of these things. So sharing knowledge increases, and sharing knowledge does not take you away. It's not like money that you pay me, I get it, but you lose it, right? Knowledge grows by itself, by sharing. Today, one people talking it. For example, competition expands business. Earlier, a new concept only I was talking about, and customers were not interested because they have not heard of it. Tomorrow, you go and talk to them about the similar thing, and then the customer starts to think, this I have heard before. So his openness to embrace it, chances go up. Likewise, exchange of ideas, sharing of the best practices, and most important, agreeing to disagree. There is nothing absolutely correct because the same thing, you are standing face to face. I write 6 on the ground. You will see 9 from your side. You're facing me, right? It's the same line. You are seeing it differently. So we need to respect, we need to understand and respect if another person is putting up a contrarian theory or interpretation, where is it coming from? And my personal philosophy is that suppose for the same task you and I are given, your model is different than mine. I will tell you, okay, Arjuna, you go ahead. You go ahead. If you do it, ultimately objective is to get the job done, right? If your method works, it's fine. Otherwise, I will come into the picture. And then you cannot say anything because you have tried and it did not work. This works very nicely. So this ESG community, I think eventually there will be empowered panels. They may not be attached to any particular body or organization. They will just do pro bono service also. Because as human beings, we need to support each other. We need to be good Samaritans also, right? Whenever we see something not happening rightly without commercial interest, sometimes we need to say, hey, brother, try doing it this way. Maybe it will help you. And if he sees benefit, if he or she sees a benefit, they will embrace it. Your job is done. So, and as I said, have conversations more. Whenever you get an opportunity to talk to people, explain it to them. Explain the value addition, explain how it helps. And remember the ultimate thing. This earth, we have not inherited. We have borrowed it from our children. We need to leave it in ship shape when we go out. Eventually, we'll all go out, right? What shape we leave it is very, very important because somebody else is going to use it. We need to leave a mess after we depart. Depart doesn't mean dying. Depart means when we stop functioning. When we stop working, when we stop functioning, eventually that. But there are many steps. It's like that. In the Hindu structure, there is this Garhastya, Banprastha, and Sannyas. Phases of life, right? Banprastha is when you're retired. Sannyas is when you have renunciated. Eventually, it happens to all of us without understanding, without following it so strictly, but that's how it works. So we need to make sure we don't do anything. Otherwise, when we are doing things, we must do the right thing all the time. And I think this initiative will go a great way in making it happen. Sure. I missed it out somewhere. In the poultry diets where I work, calcium is added. Calcium, because the animal needs it. So far, the source of calcium was calcite, limestone. Now that has got many issues. It's not consistent. In the same supply, you may get three lots from three different places. I am working with this company, Irish company. They have got a license to extract calcium from seaweeds completely sustainable manner. They have mapped the ocean bed and they mark where they're extracting it from. They will not go there for certain amount of time unless this is regrown. This is fabulous, mind-blowing. I was for a trade show in Bangkok last week. And there I met this company and I'm just blown away by their concern. Thankfully, I am seeing a lot of sustainability word printed everywhere. I buy things from Amazon. They're talking about sustainability. It's good. It's good. And it's required. Yeah, over to you.
Thanks for adding that. And thank you for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors.